Jai Shri Mataji. Good morning, everyone. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. Let's take Shri Ganesh Mantra.
श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः।
Let's keep our right hand on Mother Earth and left hand on the lap towards Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, please bless us with the qualities of Shri Ganesha. And remove all the imbalances from our left channel. Shri Mataji, please clean and purify our Ida Nadi. Let's bring our right hand on the lap and left hand towards the sky. Shri Mataji, you are Shri Hanuman. Kindly bless us with the qualities of Shri Hanuman. Shri Mataji, please remove all the imbalances from our right channel. Shri Mataji, please clean and purify our Pingla Nadi. We'll now bring both our hands at the level of our heart. Shri Mataji, kindly bring us in the state of balance. Shri Mataji, please purify and enlighten our Sushumna Nadi. We'll bring our hands back on the lap. In this meditative state, we will now hear Shri Mataji's speech.
And the second thing is, you must know how to give a complete margin to your love. The margin is benevolence. Is it benevolent for my child? Am I spoiling my child? Am I too much encouraging my child? Am I playing into the hands of my child? Or I am managing the child all right? Because in childhood, the father and mother have to manage the children. They have to tell children, and children have to be obedient, and they have to listen to parents. But these days children are not obedient. They are not, because they find that the parents among themselves are not obedient to each other. Also they find the society is such that where children go on pestering the parents, so they also become like that. But doesn't matter. You are Sahajogi, so you should bring up your children who should be obedient, who should be wise, who should be sensible, with the same love that the crocodile has for her little crocodiles. Now, when we come to the subtler side of Ganesha Tattva, that is, it expresses in our eyes. When I see some things, I see it as a joy-giving thing, just joy-giving. And if I want to buy something, then I think, all right, I can buy it for a certain person, he will like it. Because I'll know what they like. So I'll buy that thing for that person. Or else, if I'm buying something for my family, I think the same. Like I've built a house now, where I'm going to put all the things, the presents you have given me, like a museum. And I'm going to ask all the villagers to come and see it. Because they have never seen such things. They can't travel to Switzerland, leave alone England. So we have to, I'm thinking of making that house in such a manner that these villagers who have never seen beautiful things should come and see. In India, it's not a case very much with the simple people to have jealousies. Only the new materialistic people have developed this habit of jealousy. But otherwise, they will always say, what a nice thing, how beautiful it is, how they are. Like you were singing songs about Sahajoga in Pune. Actually, you have really picked up very well, I must say. But there were masters of this music sitting there watching you singing. They were the masters of drama and play, very well-known artists in India. And they said that where you went to see their play also in Pune, if you remember. So they offered me, Mother, that we want to celebrate your birthday. I said, it's very difficult because you'll be so far away. No, we'll come. The whole night they traveled. And the whole day practically. They came about 5 o'clock, imagine. They finished their drama about, say, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then they traveled all the day. Arrived at about 5 o'clock from somewhere called Belgaum. And 6:30 was the program, so they were all dressed up, came. And what a comparing they did. They said we were ashamed. We used to think that we Maharashtrians are very good at music, very good at talas and this, but we were ashamed the way these foreigners sang our music so well. We cannot sing like them. Their music, we cannot sing, while they sang our music. And we were all very much ashamed and embarrassed. How could they sing so well? And the appreciation was so great that I was myself embarrassed, the way they were saying how it has happened to these people. What is their guru have done? What have they done to these people that they can sing so well? So the appreciation and the whole thing enamored. We have a tape of that, I think, audio tape. I don't know if you have video tape or not. But if you have, please get it. It's very interesting the way they appreciated my children, the way they were singing. And to them, I felt in their saying and all that, because they are such masters and so developed in the way they were appreciating, as if they were appreciating children singing something great. See, in that the report was that of a very sweet report of Vatsalya, is the feeling of motherliness. That look at these children are singing so well. It's happened with many people I've seen when some artist came, as you know, that when they saw you people appreciating and singing, they had the same feeling. How could these children, how could these people sing so well? How did they know so well? I mean, all that beautiful feeling and all that appreciation created such a nice atmosphere. As we had some very great artists, and how they appreciated you. Instead of saying, oh, what are these, are no good for music and nothing. They've so much appreciated that these people who have never known Indian music are singing so well. So in that appreciation also, that fatherliness, that motherliness was there, that Vatsalya was there, and the situation was so beautiful. Even, say, when a person like Ravi Shankar has to play with Yehudi Menuhin. Yehudi Menuhin is a child before him. But I've seen how he looks after him and how he protects him, as we say in my Hindi language, Sambhalna. All the time is looking after him and managing it. And also we have seen in the music part, when supposing the tablewala is sitting and a very senior musician is sitting, master sitting, he'll say, please look after me, Sambhalo. Look after me, always with very great feeling of a child, that you look after me. All these things are very important in life to create good relationships between ourselves also. Those who are younger to us, those who are not so well off, or those who are not so much talented, or those who are not so much equipped in knowledge of Sahaja Yoga, or who are not so much senior in Sahaja Yoga. We have to look after the others like in a very fatherly manner, or we can say as a motherly manner, that they are not equipped. So all right, we have a Ganesha Tattva, so excite their Ganesha Tattva. They should feel dependent on us for achieving the mastery or achieving the higher state. As the Guru principle is absolutely bound by Ganesha principle. If a guru does not have a Ganesh principle, he becomes a horrid fellow, and nobody wants to stick on to him, and they all run away from him. Though he might punish, he might also get angry with the disciples. But basically, what he thinks, he is my progeny. I am developing him, I am building him. But in the modern thinking is that let them be individuals, let them be independent. So the father and mother do not look after their children in that manner, that they should. That see, this is my son, I have got a talent, I must teach him, he must come up. He is the one who is a continuation of my own self. So this idea of having every individual, you are individual, at 18 years you get out of the house, you do what you like, stand on your legs. No. Life is a continuous basis. It is not just you stand on your legs, but it is a question of one has to be all the time connected with the whole. Unless and until you are connected completely, we cannot understand collectivity of innocence. The collectivity of innocence, I see sometimes, I'm very happy that a child of somebody is in the lap of somebody, sitting very sweetly, coming as if he's your own father, coming and sitting just on your lap, without knowing that he's not my father. But still, that consciousness is not there. So this breaks the feeling of my and possession, that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And what makes you the feeling that we are now a means, we can say, an instrument, a media, by which we express the Ganesha Tattva all over. That is vibrations. So the vibrations itself about which you are asking, these vibrations themselves are nothing but the principle of Sri Ganesha, is Omkara. And when it is, then what is it? That feeling, as I told you, of Vatsalya, the feeling of love between a child and a mother. That feeling, it is the one that is vibrations between the child and the mother. The distance between the two is vibrations. And that's what one has to feel. That he is a child still, and there's the mother, and mother is bringing the child, giving all the powers to the child, bringing up, loving the child, understanding the limitations of the child, looking after all that, all the sweetness, all the wisdom of the child to be appreciated. That is vibrations. And if you see the subtle side of this, it's not my child. This is not only a limited thing, because it is eternal. It's everywhere. So you cannot have it. In everything you do, I have seen people, the way they handle things in the West. We Indians have to learn also from them. What's happening? So we have to accept for them what is the way to handle also beautiful things, how to look after beautiful things, how to manage beautiful relationships. See, you shouldn't be harsh, you shouldn't be unkind, you shouldn't say things which are insulting to others so that the relationships are broken. So all the relationships that are between human beings and God are through the Ganesha principle. So when it becomes the relationship between you and God, then there are vibrations. And then that same relationship should extend to everything that you do. You should see what things are good, whatever has got vibrations. Today I want to tell you something very important about this all-pervading power we have heard about. These are nothing but vibrations. Parama Chaitanya is nothing but vibrations, where all identities are lost. When the mother is lost, father is lost, we can say, nothing remains, then it is just this vibrations, this subtle Vatsalya exists. That's all. And this is the only thing out of which everything comes and remains in itself. Like we can say that the sun's rays come out and then they try to create chlorophyll. So it's not, that we cannot compare sun with that. Or we can say from the ocean, the clouds come out and they try to nourish the Mother Earth. That's also cannot be compared. Everything is inside. This Parama Chaitanya has got everything inside this. So we can say that everything is nothing but knowledge, is nothing but truth, is nothing but light. But when the folds of these come out, then we get into the folds of that Chaitanya, and then we become ignorant. But there is nothing like ignorance. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Like there is darkness because there is no light. Once light comes, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So ignorance doesn't exist. But what happens that the folds of this ocean, into that people go and it is lost. Thus we understand one thing very clearly, that we are in Param Chaitanya, we are made by Param Chaitanya, all the time we are surrounded by it. Only thing is, we are sometimes lost in the folds. And why? Why we are lost in the folds is because of our own unawareness. This awareness has to come, that we are part and parcel of that Parama Chaitanya. The whole thing is called as Chid Vilasa, is the Vilas, is the playful enjoyment of God's attention. Now you will say, how can that be? For example, we see the sun. And just to give a simile closer to it, we see the sun and then we see the water. We see the water in the lake, right? There is water because of the sun, we can see the water there. Then supposing we see the mirage. We see the mirage and then we think this is water. We run after the water. But the whole thing is the play of the sun. Whether it's a mirage, whether it's a water, whether it's the sun. In the same way, this Parama Chaitanya acts, and what we get lost is in our awareness that we are Parama Chaitanya. That's why the play starts. The play starts like day before yesterday's puja. What did we do? We are sitting there, it started raining. So, to prove that I can control rain. So it rained, some people were covering up something, this thing. I gave a bandhan. After some time, the rain moved out from the puja to the backside. It was not raining where you were sitting. And after that, it became a sun, and it was so clouded. Sun came, it became sunny. So that's how you have to become aware of the powers of Chaitanya. Now when you give bandhan, what you do is to put the Chaitanya into action. Act here, act there, act here. Though you are supposing in the ocean, but the ocean acts on you all the time. You cannot act on the ocean. You cannot ask water to do this and do that. But as realized soul, you are empowered. Now you can ask water, all right, you dissolve this, you do that. But for that it is important to be the masters. And to become the masters, you see, like a matter becomes a human being. And from human being, you have to become the masters of the matter. And you handle the matter. So we come back to the same. Like agriculture, we can handle just vibrating it. We can handle water, we can handle sun, we can handle moon. Because there's a rapport. Now we are aware a rapport has been established. So all this play is extremely beautiful to me. I see it. But now you all have to know that you all have become realized souls. And you have those powers. So all other nonsensical things that you learn, all nonsensical things you indulge into, you better give up. There's no sense in it. Whatever is sensible you should do, because there's Sri Ganesha within you who is absolutely sensible. He's nothing but sense. He's the giver of sense. So he's the killer of the demons, as they say. He's the one who removes all the ordeals. By how? By improving our awareness. So ordeals do not remain. Because you give a bandhan, it works out. Now, I asked somebody, Phil, I asked him to write down about the miracles. And he says now it has become like a voluminous book. It will be. Because before realization, whatever looked like miracle is no more a miracle. Miracle has lost its meaning. Because now you are empowered and you can do it. It works in everything, in your talent, in your understanding, in your education, in every way. Like there are some boys who said, Mother, see, we couldn't solve one problem, so we gave a bandhan. Immediately the whole thing came unto us and we wrote it down and they stood first. It has happened with many. So in every action, in everything, whatever you do, you should know it is the Parama Chaitanya that acts. Only thing you have to be aware of yourself, and aware of it, it acts. And you just jump into that awareness and it works. And that you have seen. But still, so many people do not know. So many people still, though they know through their brains, do not know in their hearts. And so many people, even if they know in their hearts, they do not act in their attention. So only these three things you have to improve. One is your head, another is your heart, and third is your liver. If you can improve these three organs, this Parama Chaitanya will act. But then all this attention about money, so many people, money, this, that, there's nothing to it. Parama Chaitanya will create everything for you, whatever you want. It may not create money because it doesn't have a mint, but it will create possibilities. Possibilities. And this is something to be understood very well. And it's so blissful to know that now you are aware of the Parama Chaitanya and you can master it. Master it in the sense not that you dominate it, but you ask him like a jinn, you can say, all right, do this, do that. With respect. With respect, it works. But the way sometimes we do not pay respect to Parama Chaitanya is also something surprising. The way we act all the time, the way we are behaving. Like in my presence, people will sit down and close their eyes. Or they will start worshipping the photograph instead of me. Sometimes the way they handle their kundalini, sometimes the way they behave towards themselves and others, all these things are to be understood. Now that we have entered into the kingdom of God means Parama Chaitanya. And that we are very important citizens of that. If one can understand this, then I think Sahaja Yoga can be very successful. Everything will work out. Miraculously, everything will work out. And all those who are not aware about the possibilities to what they can reach, they are thrown out, in the sense in the fold, in the ignorance, so-called, into the darkness. Again, they can come back to light when they have sense. So be forgiving about them. It can happen to you also if you understand that way. I hope today's lecture you have been able to assimilate within yourself. That's very important, to assimilate, to know that you are in the Parama Chaitanya. And that's how you'll become very sweet, you'll become very considerate and very loving, affectionate and wise. That's very important. May God bless you.
we will take the 3 Maha Mantras.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
We thank you, Shri Mataji, for this beautiful collective morning meditation. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan.